Hey guys, Zach Empire here. I'm gonna do another comic book haul video. Some of this stuff I've kind of read already. I've read a little bit of it, so it's gonna be a little bit different because it's not me like unboxing it, but it's okay. It's just kind of fun to like show people what I've been reading and stuff like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first thing I got Jughead's Time Police, the entire cult classic in one collection. I haven't read a lot of Archie stuff, but Archie comics seem really fun. I'm definitely interested in picking up more Archie stuff where it's like Archie meets Predator and Archie meets Kiss and, Afterlife with Archie and that kind of stuff. It just seems like they're doing a lot of fun stuff, with the characters. And, that's why I read comics because I think they're fun. So when I saw this one, like Archie, not Archie, but Jughead, Jughead Jones, like a cheeseburger loving slacker, as a time police, that just sounds like an interesting idea. So I wanted to pick this up. And, it's drawn in that sort of classic Archie style, but this is actually art by Gene Colan, if you can believe that. Gene Colan, who spent a lot of time drawing Daredevil, Batman, Tomb of Dracula. That's actually him doing that art right there, which I couldn't believe. That just blows me away. But there's a lot of really great stuff in here. You can see I like that Archie style, that Archie house style, and just the flat coloring of everything, and it just looks really fun. I'm sure this was like not a very deep read, but definitely something that looks really fun. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I think it's going to be a good time. Next one, I got Glory Volume 2. This is a one, I said this before when I had Prophet Volume 4 and 5. I have a couple of series where there's only a few volumes and I'm just missing, a couple of them, so I decided to just finish them off. And Glory was one where I got the first volume a long time ago. I always wanted to go back and finish it. And there's only 2 volumes because it was canceled, before it really got going. And the first volume of this is really, really good. I definitely think that Glory was a book that got canceled because the readership wasn't there, not because the creators were not doing very good. And this is written by Joe Keating, drawn by Ross Campbell. And it's really, really cool artwork. I'm going to see if I can find you a page. Yeah, see, this is some of the coolness going on there. But there's a really just Glory is not your typical heroine. She gets scarred up and she's very big and muscular, and when she fights people, it's like very violent, and there's real consequences to someone having super strength. If someone really had super strength and they punched you in the face, they would kill you. Like, your head would just blow up. So you can see, like, when they're hitting each other, they're just like blowing each other's arms off and stuff like that. And not that comics really need to be violent to be enjoyable, but I do like, that aspect of it. Someone taking it like, not just having like, what if superheroes existed in the real world kind of thing, but like, I have super strength and you don't, so when I punch you, you're gonna die. So that looks cool. All right, next one, Batman stuff. I haven't gotten Batman in a long time. Batman: The Dark Knight Detective, Volume 1 by Mike W. Barr, Alan Davis, and Paul Neary. This is actually the first volume of the post-crisis on Infinite Earths Batman, which is strange because Batman and Green Lantern were not really affected by Crisis. Their stories just kind of continued. Superman and the likes, they got a very hard reboot. John Byrne's Man of Steel is a very hard reboot. George Perez on Wonder Woman's a hard reboot. Wally West is the Flash now. hard reboot. Same thing with New 52 when they did New 52. It was Superman as a young guy again, Wonder Woman, all those guys. But Batman and Green Lantern they just kind of kept on going. Their storylines didn't stop. And so this is like, I've wanted a collection like this for a long time of not just like the best Joker stories or stories from, just Alan Davis stories or just stories written by Mike W. Barr, but an actual index book of Batman from, say, the 70s or the 80s. Because I, as you can tell from a lot of the superhero stuff I get, that's kind of the period that I'm interested in. So I just think this is really cool. As you can see on the back, they even have a little thing for it where it says, "Don't miss out the companion series Batman the Caped Crusader to chronicle all of Batman's post-crisis adventures." Because this book contains Detective Comics 568 through 574 and 579 through 582. And I think the other one, Batman the Caped Crusader, will collect Batman issues. So this is Detective Comics ones, and the other one would be the Batman comics running along the same time. But I'm not really too sure. And when you look these up on Amazon, it says something about this being like showing you how Tim Drake becomes Robin, which I don't really get because Jason Todd is Robin in here. And so I guess maybe he gets killed by the Joker. Spoiler alert if you didn't know that, but I think everyone does. That, because right here, I mean, this is Jason Todd right here with Batman. That's some really cool art too. Alan Davis is he's pretty good. I like him. He's very realistic. I don't really like realistic artwork. I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but like Neil Adams, his Batman and stuff, it's so realistic that it's just like I like exaggerated artwork. I like to more feel it, than anything else. Rather than just being presented of like, here's what Batman would look like in real life. See, like a lot of this is like the art looks good, but there's nothing really standing out to me that I want to show you. But I am definitely looking forward to reading this. And just kind of seeing, Batman in a sort of internet technology era where he doesn't have like satellites and he can't just Google stuff, because I'm sure Batman uses Google. But this looks cool. So I don't know if I'll keep getting these. I'm definitely going to get the Caped Crusader one when it comes out. But, if they're good, if I like this one and I like that one, I might just keep getting these. I mean, who knows how far they'll go. I think like they could conceivably go up till Nightfall, so you get a few volumes of both of them. So that could be pretty cool. Next thing, Annihilation, the Complete Collection, Volume 1. This is the beginning of the modern era of Marvel Cosmic. There's an omnibus collection of this, which is long out of print. If you try to buy it used on Amazon, it goes for like $500, which I'm not going to spend. There were originally there was a 3-volume collection of this, I believe, but now it's being released in 2-volume complete collection. I've been reading, I read up Marvel Cosmic stuff lately. I read Guardians of the Galaxy. I've been kind of reading some older Cosmic stuff, Jim Starlin stuff, Thanos and Warlock and all those guys. Have been getting into that. I definitely want to get into it more. So I've been kind of plotting the course of how that Marvel Cosmic era goes. And this is kind of the beginning of the more modern era. This is a weird collection, though, because this is the Annihilation event. But the book has Drax the Destroyer 1 through 4, Annihilation Prologue 1, Annihilation Nova 1 through 4, Annihilation Silver Surfer 1 through 4, and Annihilation Super Skrull 1 through 4. So this doesn't even have Annihilation in it, which is pretty funny to me. And this is cool, too. I looked through here. See, this has, if you look in the front here, it has like, this is more of the 90s era Marvel Cosmic. This book here, I've talked about this book before. This book is actually collected, and I would say a better version, in the complete Warlock by Jim Starlin and the complete Captain Marvel by Jim Starlin. But you can see, here it's Infinity War, and then they actually list this Silver Surfer Epic Collection, which I have this one. I haven't read it yet because I was waiting until I read Infinity War. I have this one, but it just kind of keeps going. But then if you look in the back, it just kind of keeps going with more of what you should read and kind of in an order. So I think that's pretty helpful. Especially with these just the Thanos ones where it's just Thanos Infinity Abyss, Thanos Infinity Revelation, Thanos Infinity Relativity. It's like, what order are those in? Because they're not called Volume 1 or Volume 2 or anything. This has a lot of different artists who work on it, so the art varies a lot. This is from the Drax the Destroyer. So you can see that's pretty neat. But they're all different ones, but this looks really cool. I like Marvel Cosmic. It's definitely a branch all its own. It's a franchise or whatever you want to call it, the same way like X-Men is or Avengers is or Spider-Man is. And there's definitely a lot of people you'll see over and over and over again. That's a sweet cover of Silver Surfer. This is a nice image too. And I just like, the deity aspect of it, and just like these powerful cosmic beings, and they're just like out in space and they're hurling energy at each other and just, just flying around. It just sounds really, really cool. And I like Thanos as a character. And this is here's Super Skrull. Super Skrull artwork's kind of cartoony, a little exaggerated with the Skrull's chins and everything like that. So that's pretty cool. But this is definitely another one that I'm looking forward to read. And like I said, there's another one of these coming, and I'll definitely be picking it up because I'm really interested in reading more Marvel Cosmic stuff. Next one, this is really big. X-Men Grand Design by Ed Piskor. I don't know why I'm emphasizing the word piss in his name so much. I'm sorry, Ed. This is X-Men Grand Design 1 through 2 and 1963's X-Men #1 recolored by Ed Piskor. So a lot of people know about this book. It came out and it just blew up, really huge. Ed did Hip Hop Family Tree, and that was just something that just everyone was just amazed by. The research he did and just the art, his art style is crazy. I will say I don't like this cover at all. This cover is terrible. This it's just like this would have been a better cover. Even the back is better. This is just it's so bland looking. I don't think it really shows how great Ed's art can be, because his art style, you can see I've been reading this because there's a bookmark in there. His art style is awesome. It's very detailed. It's very EC horror underground, but he has such a love for the X-Men, and I think that really just comes through in his art so well. And there's just so much going on where he's just explaining. At the same time that Charles was putting together the X-Men, Magneto was putting together the Brotherhood, and you don't really think about it until they show it sort of running concurrent, and then there's a scene early in the book where Jean, a friend of hers passes away, and Jean's sort of talking to her as she's dying, but she's dying, she's still alive, but she's starting to see heaven. And Jean's reading her mind as she slowly fades away into, being dead, but she can hear the thoughts of her as she's seeing heaven and she's seeing her family members and stuff. And it's just really cool. I mean, this is just, the art in this is just amazing. Just the coloring and this old brown paper stock. And if you got this in, I never saw the single issues, but if you got this in single issues, you probably missed out because this is really nice. Alright, next one. Justice League in the Bronze Age. Omnibus Volume 1. And one thing I want to point out about this is I have a misprinted copy because this is supposed to have writing on the front. This is the front of the book, as you can see. I will open it if I can open it. This is the front of the book, but mine has the logo on this side. I don't know if you can even read it because it won't really show up on the camera, but it's printed upside down. So, whatever, I guess. I've read some of this. It's very like the Justice League fighting against like pollution and stuff like that and world hunger. But it looks like it's starting to get better, and I can tell more towards the end it starts to get to be like heroes fighting and stuff like that. So that's really cool. I'd like to talk about this more when I actually finish it. And then the last thing is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is like the original run from the 80s. I grew up in the 80s, so of course I love the Ninja Turtles. The art in this book is so cool. So gritty and grim, you know, it's not like anything you know. And this is just really cool to finally kind of have these in my collections. And this is really a nice looking book. IDW put these out. It's hardbound, you know, there's no like cover on it or anything. It's just straight up the book. And it's really nicely printed. Just cool, really fun. This is probably my favorite book I've read so far this year. So that's it. I might talk more about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in another book, or maybe X-Men, or let you guys know what I thought of that dumb Jughead book, or the whatever. I don't know. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.